Welcome to a short introduction of PanatrackerST, an asset and inventory tracking platform brought to you by Panatrack. PanatrackerST is an ideal solution for tracking anything important to your organization. Everything from tools, equipment, furniture, technology, assets, instruments, supplies, and inventory. If you are currently using paper-based tracking or spreadsheets to keep track of items, isn't it time to graduate to a more robust tracking system? With PanatrackerST, you can record changes and updates to your items, update location, custody, and status from the desktop, tablets, Android or iOS phone or devices. Complete checkout functions to employees, contractors, students, or even customers. Easily manage the status of your assets and inventory, and know what items are checked out, deployed, available, or out of service. Complete periodic validations based on location or custodian. Set up maintenance plans and record maintenance activities. PanatrackerST includes configurable grid views that have export capabilities. You'll have maximum flexibilities in setting up the system with unlimited attributes that can be applied to both items or transactions. Easily capture transactions with a simple scan of a barcode to maximize efficiency. Plus, you'll have the expertise of the Panatrack team to help you configure the system in the most ideal way for your organization. Let's take a few minutes to view a few key features and see a couple of transactions in action. First, I would like to introduce you to the main item grid view. These are all the items I am tracking in the system. The handle represents the unique ID for items set up to be serial tracked. This can be the barcode asset tag or a serial number. For quantity tracked items, the handle is actually the same as the item code. Notice I can easily view the items, details, location, and status of each of the items. Grid views can be customized. Change the columns displayed based on the data that is important to you. Filters can be applied to any of the columns, and the columns can also be reordered. I'm going to jump over to the Checkout Management section. Here's the grid view for the checked out units. You can see who has custody, date the item was checked out, and the expected return date if you're tracking that. Filtering is available to quickly find all items checked out to a specific person, and all of the grid views also support export capabilities. From this grid view, there is also a link to the check-in transaction. Let's jump over and take a look at my mobile app so we could start doing a couple of transactions, starting with a checkout. For my demonstration today, I am logged into the tool room. I will be completing checkout and check-ins for tools. I am using a mobile computer device with an integrated barcode scanner. First, select the individual or department that we're checking these items out to. I can select from a lookup list, or if the individual has an employee card or a student ID with a barcode, I would also be able to scan that. There is an option to select a project or a job that the items are being checked out to. When I start selecting the items to check out, the items are immediately updated to a status of reserved. This supports the ability to reserve items and set them aside for a later checkout. The staging area can be selected to identify where the items are being moved to. I will be completing the checkout immediately, so I plan to skip the staging area assignment. Now let's start scanning the items to check out. The handle, which is either the asset tag or unique ID of the item, or the item code, can be selected from a lookup list or scanned. When the item is selected, additional information about that item is displayed. As I mentioned before, when the item selection is complete, the item is updated with a status of reserved. This eliminates the possibility of someone else trying to select the same item for another individual. For this item that I selected, it is already in a status of checked out. This may happen if items are dropped off and not immediately checked back in. Instead of having to leave the checkout transaction to complete a check-in, we offer the ability to do a check-in on the fly. Now, during the check-in step, the item is populated to immediately reserve for my next checkout. This next item I selected is tracked by a quantity versus a unique ID. I need to select the area I am taking it from and the quantity I am checking out. I can jump over to the review screen at any time to view the list of items I have reserved for checkout. Reserved items can be removed prior to finalizing the checkout. I can return back to the transaction screen to select more items. Otherwise, from the review screen, I can use the Next button or select the Checkout tab from the top. I can get a signature from the person that is taking custody of these reserved items, and then complete the checkout. The items have now been updated to a status of checked out, and custody has been transferred to that individual or department. Let's jump to the flip side of the checkout and complete some check-ins. I have the option to filter the list of checked out items by the current custodian. Otherwise, I can just jump down to the handle field and start checking things in. This item is set up to assign a status. Transactional attributes can be set up for other things as well, such as capturing a condition of the item on check-in. Each item needs to be returned to an area. Items can be returned to a general staging area first, and then use the move transaction to put the items away to their stock locations. This item also is past due for scheduled maintenance. We have built-in messages to indicate both past due and upcoming scheduled maintenance on both the checkout and check-in transactions. Let's continue checking in items. As items are being checked in, a list of items are being built. The History tab will access those items. Once you leave this transaction, the history list will reset for you. This was just a few examples of transactions available in PanatrackerST. We offer many other transactions to support tracking your items. If you would like to learn more about our solutions or are ready to explore more of the features available in PanatrackerST, visit our website or contact us to schedule a demo.